Guys, what's going on? Sommerdale Piso back once again. So you must be as a child to enter the kingdom of heaven. This is what they say, at least in the Bible, the Judeo-Christian Bible. I don't think the kingdom of heaven personally is an area, domain, a physical domain that someone could physically inhabit. Absolutely not. These are just metaphors, right? The kingdom of heaven, like what we were talking about in regards to the hell vibration, the Jezebel vibration, are just strictly that. They are vibrations, they are frequencies, they are realms of thought. That means, if anything, that verse from the Bible is incredibly credible, right? You must be as a child in order to enter the kingdom of heaven. What does that exactly mean? We're going to explore that today, of course, how it relates to semen retention, and is that ascended state that we're all trying to reach on our personal practices of semen retention, is that the kingdom of heaven vibration? How do we even get there? So like, comment, subscribe, we're gonna get right into it. So the kingdom of heaven, right, that vibration, what that includes. Let's talk about what it doesn't include, and I'm sure you guys will sort of fill in the blanks on what it can include, what it does include. In this world, right, because you are in a physical space that has various variables, right? Cars, individuals with varying thoughts, crazed individuals that are not necessarily having an equilibrium of thought, perpetually depressed individuals, perpetually happy individuals, because there are all these various variables that you're sharing the space with in this physical reality. That means there is a whole number of possibilities of things that could be inflicted upon you, your physical body and your mental state. Of course, if you let it, but a lot of people don't usually practice that mental resistance to the things of the world. As a result, they get affected by these things, and then they go on and perpetuate that sadness, that depression, that anger to everyone else in this reality. My point is, from a mathematical perspective, because there are variables here of different types. Naturally, what those things signify in this physical reality, things can happen to you. These horrible things and great things can happen to you. We have things in the world, right, events where people sort of become disgruntled at life. You know, they've had a lot of things that happen to them. Perhaps there is this whole plight. There's a oppressive specter of racism, right? Perhaps there's some nationalism going on that sort of prevents people from living their ideas of success. Whatever it may be, there are things that just happen in this world, naturally. As an individual now that is practicing celibacy, that's on semen retention, that is ascending, we are forming a coat around us. We spoke about this in our earlier video, the aura, all of the microcosms of the events that happen to you, things you eat, the things you ingest, that all goes into the formation of the semen. And of course, as you ascend, that energy enriches your brain, enriches your physical body. And there's that aura, in addition to forming as a sort of Harold's purple crayon of your personal realities, it also forms as some sort of Lancelot's armor. We're making a lot of references here. A lot of the variables that happen, that occur in this world, right? A lot of the events thereof, as a result of the existence of those variables, those things will not touch you at all, right? Because you are practicing semen retention. Now, as you guys are going on your practices of semen retention, personally, you're walking through, you are learning more about the world, you're learning more about your personal practices, you're going into the subterraneous caverns of the subconscious tunnel of the self, and understanding who you are and what you mean, how you are going to fit in this physical reality and with a temporary finite time that you have here. Sometimes people become embittered by this large influx of energy that semen retention grants. Sometimes people become even jaded and cynical at this physical reality, even more so because semen retention gives you that vision in order to see the reality, the inevitable conclusions of the individuals of the world, the variables, right, that I alluded to in the beginning of the video. We see those inevitable conclusions of their lives, and we feel that we have absolutely no control and that we're powerless. Those are those guys. Then we have, right, the other side of the people that are practicing semen retention, that are understanding that this world really happens, the events they're in happen on its own accord. Whatever happens in this world, this finite, ephemeral, existing reality, it all just happens and it occurs. Things in this physical space, in this physical domain, is a result. Those events are pushed and propelled by the objective reality, the great plan, right, which is ordained by the Almighty, the Manad, whatever you guys attribute to that grand source. And these people on semen retention understand that you should just flow with the objective reality. Just go. It's almost like a very, very strong river, right? With a very, very strong current. You're just flowing on it. You take your kayak or your canoe or whatever, and you go down it. When you obtain this mindset, you're slowly sort of opening that already ajar door that becomes that way when you start the practice of celibacy and semen retention, of becoming like a child. You see how children are in this world. What happens to them is, well, we'll talk about how they are. They're very, very innocent, curious, enthusiastic, compassionate, benevolent sources of light. Well, remember, because they just basically came from the ether. They basically came from the realms above. So of course they're going to be that way. That's all they know. They haven't formed their parameters and sort of filters on the things of this reality yet. Right? They haven't been taught about the issues of, the different cultures, the issues of lack of education, lack of money, all that silly stuff that we sort of pray and adore in this world. Children are incredibly beautiful and innocent. And by being this way, by returning to it as a person that's on semen retention and becoming celibate, right? You sort of understand, of course, with your increased knowledge of the world, of being through the world, you then become very, very forgiving. You become very, very kind. What's the word? You're not cutting when you speak. Rather, you are sort of caressing and trying to understand the aspects of the world. Personally, me, Somer del Piso, it took me a very, very long time to get to this point. Because I was angry. I was very, very sensitive once upon a time, especially when starting this practice of semen retention. I didn't understand why things were happening to me in the frequency that they did, in terms of the amount of successive times, and why people would look at me a certain way and why they would respond to me a certain way, why am I getting ignored, all those negatives that come about on semen retention. And then I realized something, that at the end of every single day with which these events occurred, I am still the same individual. I am still the same person that excessively traveled. I am still the same person that has a lot to say about the various levels of the metaphysical reality. I am still that same individual with all of my experiences that I've had since I was a young boy. The things that happens in this world does not affect who I am, my soul, my personality, my identity. It doesn't even affect my physical, right? Or it does. I mean, if you get bumped in the street or you sort of get assailed, right? Hopefully not. What I'm trying to say is that it is nothing. It would only be beneficial not to attack these situations as they come to pass, but rather be as a child and sort of psychoanalyze these situations that are happening, right? And try to incorporate them in some sort of ever-building Jenga block tower, right? Which is representative of my knowledge of myself and the world, spiritually, physically. Be as a child, lads. Be as a child. See as a child. We are not naive. Right? That means that we are not just allowing things to happen, even though we know by going down this road with a certain experience, this is the result of that going down that road. No, we are taking another biblical quote into complete embodiment. As innocent as doves, as beautiful and as benevolent, compassionate, curious as a child, but as wise as that age-old serpent, the one that fooled Adam and Eve, the one that continues to fool this world and dives this world and brings it into perpetual sin and worshiping and idolatry of the flesh. We are being as wise as an individual. We are innocent. We are completely benevolent. And that is what I'm trying to say. As you guys are going to advance on your various practices of semen retention, thankfully, I'm glad that you guys are even starting that practice. You are going to understand a lot about this world. You're going to understand a lot about the individuals. You're going to understand a lot about the nature of the cultures and the experiences of those various cultures in the world. That's just natural. Your eyes are going to be opened. But you must never allow yourself to be jaded and cynical by the things of this world or the people thereof that are definitely not on the same wavelength and vibration as you, which is, trying to ascend, but yet keep it basement, right? Being like a child. Do not hollow the things of the world like adults do, right? Adults, they like their stuff. They like their gold. They like their things. They like their jewelry. They want to show off to the other people of the world. But a child has no need to prove itself. It feels no necessity to showcase its personality, right? A child just exists and accepts and is curious. That is how we are going to be to enter that kingdom of heaven vibration, the one that is waiting for us all in order to enact the cultivation and the reinforcement of compassionate, benevolent values upon this physical reality that has fallen for so long. And with that being said, that is all I have to say today, guys. If you like that kind of content, like, comment, subscribe, share the video with some peers. Do not ever let this world get you down. I always say it in so many videos. The people and the things of this world, majority are not on that kingdom of heaven vibration. They don't want to be on that. They rather would continuously and perpetually have fun until the very end. What we are doing, the people that are even in this community and are interested in this community, we are interested in trying to achieve that kingdom of heaven vibration, right? We don't judge, of course. We do not. That's not what we do. Rather, we accept. We are compassionate. We are benevolent. When they strike us with, how you say, we have those social situations where there's multiple people that believe in one thing, and because you believe in another thing and you sort of stand upright, they're going to sort of try to indirectly batter you until you sort of fold and become just like them. Let it happen. You're good. You're going to go home and you're going to be fine. If you had a trip planned to Paris the night before, even though you get battered socially by the individuals around you, you're still going to have that ticket to Paris. You're still going to experience the things of this world through your filter of the kingdom of heaven vibration. I.e., you're not going to be bad. You're not going to die, right? Allow the things of this world to harm you. Allow them to harm your physical, but it will never touch your spirit. Understand that. Stay on the practice of semen retention, stay celibate, and stay compassionate. Reach that kingdom of heaven vibration, and trust me, you're going to be good. You're going to be good. And stay radiant always. I'll see you guys in the next video. Woo!